Fantastic. Cool. We can come into a seated position so you can see me quite well when I'm sitting here. I will take you a little bit closer. You can sit on a chair or on the floor. That's absolutely fine. So if you sit on a chair, make sure that your feet are firmly on the ground, 90-degree knees, so your feet are not pulled under. And you don't sit with your back against the chair, you sit straight. From there, I want you to take that hand, same hand as me, as you can see. Same hand as you see on the screen. Yes, so I think that's your left hand, is that right? Left? Is it left or right? Give me an indication.
I have my left hand.
So take your right hand.
Right.
So that you mirror me. Yeah. You see, I'm like a mirror now. Do you see that? Good. Bring it down to where your chair is on the floor. And I want you to just zip the side open. What is very tempting is that we kink ourselves over. So think of having something that lifts you below your rib cage up, like a decompression of your lower back. And then just where the rib cage is, you unfold one side of the rib cage a little bit more than the other. And you bring your arm across and low, and then allow your elbow to lift up and try to keep your shoulder down. So I like you to bring your hand to the forehead, because then pretty much your shoulder has to come down. And push with your hand slightly towards your forehead, and your forehead towards your hand, very gently. See if you can breathe into your side, as if you could just open the side and breathe out of your ribs on that side. Long inhalation. Long exhalation. Making sure that this arm's not falling in, that's straight. It keeps you in your center. That's it. So both sides lift. One side's lift a little bit more than the other. When you're exhaling, drawing your tummy in and up. And when you're inhaling, relax your tummy. When you're inhaling, making yourself tall. And when you're exhaling, relax. And how does that feel when you inhale and you make yourself tall? There's quite a lot of tension there. It's like a real reaching for something, striving for something. You might feel it in your shoulder. You kind of like, let's go there. That is why we breathe differently. Actually, the other way around. So the inhalation becomes an expansion, but not a forward movement. The female part of the breath is expanding and connecting. And the exhale draws in and up. But it's again not reaching any further. It's an internal process. So if I were to look at the camera, I would not see you move. It's like still. One of the first things ever written about yoga asanas is that they're still and comfortable. Tick, tick. Make sure you're in a position where you're still and comfortable. I don't trust myself to reinvent yoga, so I just stick with the basics. There's one more sentence written on yoga, which is called use effortless effort. Just let that just like mingle. Just, what does that even mean? And slowly come out. Good. Because effortless effort is not really something we ever do. it's just not really us. So effortless effort is that there is structure and resistance, but it's like maybe 85% of what you could do. It's a good thing. It's a good place to work from. So you go over to the other side. Remember that the rib cage lifts up evenly, and then just the one side lifts up a little bit more than the other. This arm stays straight and doesn't kind of like kink. You can just hold on to your chair there. That's it. Wait, bring your arm back down, Sheena. Good. That's it. This arm, hold your horses. Goes across. There's a reason for that. And from there, you lift out of the side of your body up. If you just go like that, you miss half of the pose. You don't feel any of the sheet of the muscle. So if you want to try both versions, bring your arm up like this and see what you feel in your back. Very little. Bring your arm across and lift out of the tummy, lift out of the side rib cage, and slowly let that elbow kind of like come up there. And there's a whole orchestra going. Is that right, Sheena? Can you feel that? The orchestra is a good thing. We don't want solos, okay? Yoga is all about like a nice, well-played orchestra where every muscle has its place, but no one's kind of like out there. I think of like violins, no, not violin, maybe cello. Cello is a good thing. Bach cello. Letting your breath just marinate this sheet that you've exposed. Just working into that. Long inhalation. Long exhalation. Effortless effort. Still and comfortable. And bring your arm back up. Very good. Great. How's that feeling? Okay? No adverse reactions, otherwise unmute yourself and let me know. Your legs, if they are an easy cross-legged, swap them around. You can sit in whichever version of sitting you would like to sit. Okay. So we have opened something here. We now want to explore those muscles a bit more. So they run on the meridian of the gallbladder. The gallbladder meridian, if it's not flowing, it's like holding the emotion of resentment. It's wonderful. It's just holding anger in. It's like slow poisoning. Like actually, it's wonderful. It's great. So really opening that up just brings flow into the whole resentment of the whole world. Just like imagine that your body extends into the whole of the humanity when you do yoga. It's wonderful. I always do yoga for all of you, just in case you didn't know. When I do my morning yoga practice, I have all of you in my mind, and all the stretches I do, I sense through your body as well. If that's possible, that's what I intend anyhow. So, we have this muscle here, these muscles, and I would like you to feel them and activate them. So I would like you to go with your hands into like a namaste. Don't have your namaste right at your heart. Have your arms like forward and shoulder height. I think it's one of the sequences that are dedicated to Nick here. He used to be a Liberian, and I call it the Liberian yoga poses. So your shoulders are down. Imagine you have like an oak bookshelf, like solid, nothing like IKEA or something like that, like really nice and heavy. And you can place your forearms on that oak shelf that's just perfectly aligned just below your shoulders. Little lower there, Igor. Drop your shoulders. Yes, good. So you can actually rest your arms on that imaginary bookshelf. So there can be several sensations. If I would unmute you, you probably all would tell me different things. I would show you, I will basically introduce you to the entire orchestra. So you might not have all of the instruments quite under control yet, but that's fine. I'll start at my hands. My fingertips push together, not the heel of my hand, the fingertips. Because when you push the heel of the hand together, it can jam. So like through the web of the fingers, I push down. And then I feel something underneath my arm and going to the area that we stretched earlier. So activating and doming the armpits. If you have troubles feeling that, just imagine it. If it's in any way paining, ease out. Make sure that your shoulders melt down with gravity to where they belong. And we breathe. From there, I want you to do a quarter turn with your palm, making your fingertips point towards me. And then you bring your fingertips back to you, making them point towards you. I want you to inhale, bring the fingertips out, keeping the shoulders low. That's it. And bring your fingertips back in. Exhale. And that should work kind of like through the lower arm, through the bit that's below the arm, all the way through. Cool. Fantastic. Right. Let go. And bring your hands behind you and interlock your hand. And just lift your heart, open your heart. So you could lift your arms up behind you and make your whole front kind of like go like that. I don't want you to do that. Keep your hands nice and close to your bottom. And open your heart. Tuck your chin in as if you would do a double chin, as if you would flatten your nose against the window. Like, and then tuck your chin in and drop your head. And just breathe. I would like you to invite to feel a sensation underneath the armpit over your rib cage, just on the sides. If you don't feel it, that's fine. It just means you're a little bit tone deaf to some of the instruments. That's okay. Comes with skill. Chin in, head down. Paying attention to your fingers and notice how much tension there is of them nearly flying away from each other if you wouldn't squeeze your fingers hard. So see if you can not squeeze your fingers hard and not have your arms fly out to the side. Again, kind of like finding like a Goldilocks position there. Opening your chest, dropping your shoulders, keeping your hands together without that strong pull, strong resistance. If that's fairly easy to do, you could even try pushing your web of your fingers towards one another, but you don't need to try that if it's hard keeping your fingers together. Okay, so there's different stages. And as if on your lap there would be like a little mouse sitting that was naughty, you got to look at that little mouse on your lap and you make a no movement, like a big, giant, slow motion. No, little mouse. You cannot do that. Keeping your eyes on the mouse. Don't look from side to side. You only go as far as you can stretch your eye into the corner of your eye. Especially when you wear spectacles, quite often your eye range of movement gets less and less. So I would like you to look to one side and hold it there and breathe. And really stretch your eyes looking at the mouse, the imaginary mouse. Breathe. And then keep looking at the mouse, going to the other side. Stillness there. Coming back into the middle. And release your heart. Great. Swap your legs if you're an easy cross-legged. Good. The counter pose of that. Who remembers? What's the counter pose of this? Flexing the hands. What do we do afterwards? It's you're just so relaxed when you come to my class. You just switch your brains off, don't you? It's just such a lovely compliment. This one. Have you ever seen this before, by any chance? Just like vaguely remember. That's okay. Don't push too hard. Good. Again, you try to get your fingernails towards each other. They're slidey. They're not as easy as a tip. So just give it a shot. Shoulders lower, Ego. Lower, lower. So your wrist is at heart height. Good. Yeah, low. Okay. And we do a quarter turn. Inhale. And a quarter turn. Exhale. You don't need to push very hard. It just works your forearms just a little bit. Again, avoid any solo artists here. Make sure your spine is straight, you're breathing. And it's just all a symphony of movement. Elbows lower, Elaine. Yeah, hands lower even. Hands lower. That's it. But we don't want to hold those shoulders up. We've just taken them down. There you go. Fantastic. Great. Great. Okay. So this is the bookshelf, but really what you want to do is a bookends. Are you ready for the bookend practice? I'm sure there's like a Sanskrit word for it. I have not seen it, so we just keep them quite practical and in our mother tongue and more like as pictures. Did you have a question, Tanya? Are you okay? Good. So if you need to shuffle your legs or something or change your position, just do so. So this is a bookend. It's a solid bookend, like these elephants or something like that. It's like heavy mahogany or something like that. So it's not just gonna kind of like float about or something like that. It just stands there nice and solid. The shoulders are low, so it stands on that really strong oak bookshelf. Good. The other hand goes like so, and it goes on the inside of the arm. And both shoulders are low, and you stay in the center. Good. So you want to push this arm slightly in and this arm slightly out, but don't wrestle. It's not a wrestling exercise. It's just finding resistance. And if you find that resistance and your shoulders are low and your collarbone is up and you're sitting upright, straight, up, up. It's a nice straight kind of like elephant. I need to come up with a better thing, like the one of the Twin Towers. I don't know. Just something a bit more straight than an elephant. So you feel it here. Can you show me where else you can feel it? This is contraction. Oh, up here, make sure that your shoulder's down and you're not feeling it just because you're lifting your shoulder up. Do you feel an opening over the back? Again, the back part of your armpit actually. Just there. The self-hug place where you can hug yourself. See if you can invite that to that movement by dropping the shoulders and breathing. So if you go over the back part of your armpit there and just hit that bit there. Just invite it in. Yeah. Arm straight, super straight, fingers straight. Yes. And breathe. Widen to that side rib cage there. And release. Good. Just have a sugar and just see if one side feels different than the other. If you let your hands hang, you might feel that one side feels longer than the other. You might not. Swap your legs the other way around. Do the bookend practice on the other side. A nice straight bookend, like one of those modern designs, like no fluffiness there. Modern design, wrist straight, shoulder low, oak case. Good. This hand matching. And then matching the increase of pressure. Matching it, leaning into each other. Breathe. Now that we know what we're looking for, just invite the musical instruments in the back of your armpit to play here. There. It doesn't mean that this doesn't play, that also plays. You just want to have a few more instruments. Big inhalation, big exhalation. And it's very easy for that bookend to kind of like go over or out. Try to keep it upright. Simplistic, minimalist design. You might actually now feel the old bit that we talked about. Do you feel that bit? Maybe, maybe not. Keep going. A few more breaths. Very good. And relax. Right. So the reason why our shoulders lift up is because this bit here is not really doing anything. If you kind of like feel this area here, does it feel like solid muscle, kind of like, you know, like these bodybuilders that are built like that, like solid muscle? Or is it more like cuddly? Cuddly spine. But it's not going to help us releasing our shoulders. You can give yourself a little pat. It's good. It's all fine. Good. Little self-hug. We're not saying that they're wrong or lazy or anything like that. They just forgot how to do it. And if you went to school at a really early age, not like in Germany, like I went to school like when I was like 7.5 and I was desperate for school. When you're 4.5 and you go to school and you learn to do fine movements of writing before you have learned how to climb a tree, you develop these muscles, which are your calligraphy muscles, into the muscles that hold up your arms. And these ones have no clue what they should do. So they're like misrecruited. Yeah, these ones get like a slack job and these ones work like far too hard for what they get paid for. No one's happy. So this is not about just kind of like, you know, firing this one from that job and hiring the other. It's like getting trained for the job. You know, kind of like job sharing for a little while. Job sharing first before you re-recruit. Okay? So go easy. Go easy. So when you reach for that cookie jar, just reach for the imaginary cookie jar. And then drop your shoulder. And then imagine there's a bit of weight to the cookie jar. There should something happen. If you're outside and you have a tree, hold on to a tree and pull, and you will find the muscle. Climb a tree. I'm sure in isolation, it's part of your going out, the once a day going out, definitely should be a time where you can climb a tree. Yeah? So if you've never climbed a tree, don't go on any branch that's smaller than your wrist. You know, I don't know how well educated you are with your climbing, but that usually keeps things safe because we don't want to have your A&E. They're very busy just now. So by climbing a tree, pulling things up is what these muscles do, but it only works when your shoulders are down. When your shoulders are up, they can't do anything. So just bring your arms up in the air. Imagine you're holding on to something and you pull with your shoulders up. It's like your teeth clench, your jaw, it's just, let go. Just sugar it out, forget about it. Good. Now I want to hold on to that tree and lift our chest and pull down with the shoulders down. Oh, there's muscles there. They love working for you, you just don't know it yet. It's like having these big builders kind of like doing like a moving one item to the next job. You know, it's just like really, and they want to rip down a wall. These ones are the ripping down a wall muscles, and we get them to do nothing. Especially when you sit on these really lovely chairs with the little wheels under them. You know, the little evil wheels under the chair. Oh my God, I can't even say. The class will not be long enough. So give your legs a little sugar. That's it. Okay, shoulders a little sugar. So find something to hold on to. Lift your collarbone. Drop your shoulders, drop your elbows, and pull. Feel those muscles. They are alive. They really are. Play with them. That's it. What can you do with them? How can you celebrate their return? Celebrate the return of the muscle. They're called your latissimus dorsi. But you can name them John or Jennifer or whatever you want to. Doesn't matter. Good. That's it. Just feel them. Feel them. Work through the ribcage. Work like back into the ribcage. Back into the ribcage. Just having a bit of fun with them. It's a bit like meeting a friend that you haven't talked to for a long time. And then you meet them on the street and you're like, oh my God, how are you? How have you been? And then the friend could say, hey, you haven't been in touch. Leave me alone. Or the friend could go, forget about that. He or she hasn't been in touch. It's nice to see you. See what your muscles kind of like are saying. Oh, it's like if there would be 4 pillars around you, so 2 to the front and 2 to the back. You try to get to the back pillar and to the back pillar. Can you feel that? Are these muscles that you know? Oh, and then try the front pillars. Ooh la la la. Yep. Front pillar. Yep. Good. And then see if you could do a little pillar round. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. These are the muscles that you use when you do belly dancing. Yes. Oh yeah. And make sure you don't dip. It's like a horizontal shuffle. So it's not like it's falling back into your back. So you lift your kidney. Lift your collarbone. That's it. Okay. Okay. Go around and the other way around. Can you go the other way around? working that rib cage, working those intercostal muscles, the muscles between your ribs. And sugar out. Nice. Good. Love your muscles. Love your muscles. There, you're being sweet to yourself, muscles. When you're in isolation, you have no one to hug. You can always hug yourself. It's really good. And you can stroke yourself as well. So nice. So good. Yes. Wonderful. So that's our movement practice finished. We'll just finish with a little bit of a centering before I will send you off. We started off a little late. Can I get a thumbs up that you're still okay for another like 5-7 minutes? Good. If not, you just need to leave. Good. So bring yourself into a comfortable position. That can be anything. I will give you a few minutes to just find something that feels like right. You could curl up on the floor or on the couch, or you could sit upright. Whatever feels right. A nurturing posture. And then let the petals of your eyes just close over. And I would like you to imagine your favorite smell. Someone mentioned the other day freshly baked bread. That's absolutely fine. Whatever your favorite smell is will perfectly do. So I want you to let go of your inhalation, forget about the inhalation. It's like never breathing in again. And just smell that smell in. As if you've never breathed before. Inviting newness to your breath. Noticing the texture of the breath entering the nostrils. Notice how the texture changes on your exhalation. And then just imagine that this smell that you carry has like energy attached to it. It's like a gold sparkle. And that gold sparkle, as you breathe it in, it ignites your brain. It just lights it up. Breathing through your nostrils right into your brain. This golden sparkle. And that golden sparkle makes every cell that it touches connect perfectly to the next. Doing the vibration it needs to do to assist the whole. So your brain is balancing and connecting. And when your brain balances and connects, magic happens. And this golden sparkle turns into golden nectar. And that nectar runs down your spine. Warm, soothing, nourishing nectar. And it fills up your pelvis. And it fills it up, and then 2 waterfalls of nectar fall down your legs. Run down your legs all the way into your feet. And as you breathe that golden sparkle light through your nose, and as it transforms into the nectar and runs through your body, it oozes through the little gaps in between your spine into your nervous system. It looks like a little rootlet system that goes up to every vital organ, to every cell, to every part of your body. And a lot of that energy accumulates in your heart and lung area. And it just connects and soothes and nourishes every cell of your heart chakra. And when it's full to the brim, 2 cascades of this nectar are running down your arm into your palms. And if you turn your palms into little vessels by turning your palms facing the ceiling, you can feel how that warm nectar fills your palm. And what happens when the nectar fills your palms? It turns into love. And it runs out of your hands, overflowing into your room around you. And you notice that your feet are in a puddle of it. And as soon as the nectar that comes from your hands touches that puddle, it also turns into love. And that puddle gets bigger and bigger with every breath you receive. The more you relax, the more love is created through you. And you see that the earth starts drinking that love. It takes it into her soil, drenching the soil beneath you, drenching the area of town where you are. And you can see the trees and plants drink it. And as the trees and plants drink that love, they start breathing love. And tiny, tiny particles of oxygen are now floating through the air, carrying your love. And the earth getting more and more drenched as you breathe. And it stretches out and out. And then what happens? Your love meets another love. It's very different from your love, but it's just as pure. And that love is attached to many, many, many other loves. And it builds a whole network of rivers through this earth, around this earth, soaking the earth with love. And any plant that has her roots stuck in the soil starts breathing love. So we might think our love cannot change everyone. There's many people that are immune to love. Not if they walk this planet and not if they breathe. They'll get it. Might be a cunning plan, but if you Keep breathing that love and letting it float and connect. Magic happens. On that note, bring yourself back into the room. Bring your hands at your heart. Together into Namaste. I'll ask for this, what we have dreamt up, to be true and to show up all around us. And in the way we say it here in the Celtic land, we say it, so be it, and it goes like that. Witch's language. Namaste, my beloved ones. Thank you very much for coming. Sorry for anyone that had trouble getting here or anyone that couldn't make it here. You might have noticed I have recorded around halfway through I started recording. Could I please have a thumbs up that it's okay to share with the 3 people that were texting like crazy and couldn't get in? Are you okay with that? Do I get your consent? How about if I don't get your consent, you let me know? Okay, cool. Thank you so much. You can just unmute yourself and we just do a little namaste together. We could actually do 3 ohms together. How does that sound? Just unmute yourself wherever you are. And however your om is, there is no pitch that it needs to be, and it doesn't need to be any kind of like length or anything. They can just meld into each other. We can breathe in our own time. 3 ohms. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Peace within, peace outside of us. Peace in all that moves. Namaste. Thank you for coming.
Namaste.
Namaste.
Namaste. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.